I'd like to do a little bit housekeeping before I pass the floor to Vivian to run the Ideathon workshop, which is a follow-up on the design thinking workshop we did a few weeks ago. Right, so could you all come over to this page? Either scan the QR code or you should have bookmarked this page by now. And this is the notes for this course. And there you go. bulink.hk/3056. Yuri, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, so from here, you will be able to access this collaborative space for Ideathon workshops. So please go ahead and join the space. And maybe I will just write Friday morning attendance. And then you can respond to my comment. Can you join this site?
When Notion appears, it always asks me to put my team space in or something like that.
Well,
oh, it's okay. I've got it
now. Okay, maybe I should invite you to edit. That might help. All right, so yeah, please do respond to my comment here. So that's the Friday morning attendance for Ideathon workshop. Now, as we are going to wrap up this course, this is the second last week. I'd like to talk a little bit about the assessment. So basically, everything you need to know about the assessment can be found on this page right here. Okay, so assessment instructions and rubrics. And you can see that for community engagement portfolio, every team has got a page. And once you finish that, you need to submit the PDF to Moodle. Okay, so that will be the expectation. Okay, so and there's the some guidelines, there's the rubrics and everything, so you can take a look. Now for the argumentative research paper, it's the same. You need to submit it to Moodle, the PDF version. I think I have created a Notion page for you to draft. Maybe some teams I haven't done that, but I will do it today. Okay, so if you have questions, you can just send a question to the small groups. And then for reflective learning journal, that's individually assessed. So each student should write your own journal. You probably have done that a little bit in Moodle, which is just for drafting. But now you need to kind of curate everything into one place. Again, you don't have to look at this video anymore because I'm going to create a page for everybody. But we've got this Google Sheet, which is where we'd like to have the page, the link of everybody's reflective learning journal. So maybe it will be helpful if you can put your info here. For Friday morning session is here. Okay. Yeah, if you have any questions, just ask in our small groups or even the big group. Either one is fine. Yeah, so we still got some time. I know it's very busy near the end of the semester, but I think we set the deadline as 9th of December for everything to be submitted to Moodle, because we also need some time. Ben and I need some time to grade your work and submit the mark sheet and everything. So 9th of December is the deadline. If some teams got problems or issues, you can talk to us, but I don't think we can be that much flexible when it comes to deadline. Okay. Other than that, any questions? Right. So Friday morning session, we've got quite a number of teams to cover. Each team has already got a worksheet. Maybe I haven't changed the name of this one, but I should change this to Ideathon. So what Vivian will do is to go over some slides for the Ideathon workshop, and then invite each team to work on the worksheet that has been created for you. Okay, so make sure that you can find the worksheet created for your team. If you cannot, just let me know. I think I have already sent the link to the small groups. All right, so I hope we can finish everything around 12. Because near the end we're gonna invite teams to do the presentation, right? So let's try not to rush towards the end. And I will probably leave a little bit earlier, but Ben will monitor everything. Okay, so Vivian, over to you.
Hey, good morning. So today we will be hosting a Ideathon workshop. So before that, a show of hands if you have already have your project idea solution on mind. Okay, good. How many ideas you've got now? 1, 2, 1. Okay, that's cool. So today, before everything, I would like to talk about our mission of today first. So today we required you a bit more energies apart from other workshops. So you will be working closely with your team. Hopefully you will have more teammate later on. So we will be contributing ideas together and generate desirable and destined solutions for today's lessons. So before the end of the workshop, each team will have 2 minutes to have your presentation and pitching on your problem and your solution. So before that, I would like you to take a memo and put down your project title and your member list as one of the, later on, we will draw lots to determine the order of pitching. So I will also introduce my team, Marfus, who will be here with us today. So we will be helping you guys to develop your ideas later on. So let's distribute some memos. And how many groups here today? 1, 2, 3. Are you alone? Okay. Oh, or you both separate? Okay. So we have 5 groups here. So yeah, you will be getting 1 memos. So please put down your project title and your member list. And when you finish, you can paste it on the board. Thank you. You can also decorate a bit, okay? If you want it, you can draw your teammate out. So when you got the paper, you can put your project title and your team list, your member list. And of course, you can decorate it a bit. Okay, so once you have finished, you can paste your memo on the board here. Oh, congratulations, you got a teammate. Morning. That's great. Okay, so the next step, I want to check if any one of you prepared some classwork before you coming over today. Anyone? Classwork. Anyone not? Okay, yeah, thanks for sharing. So we will be working together now. Okay, so before jumping into generating idea, still remember on previous workshop we have talked about design thinking and the process of showing empathy and also define the needs and problems. Still remember the stakeholder map last time, the 4 Greek one. Did you apply it in your coursework or during your preparation on your research paper? Anyone? Yeah, thank you. So later on, I want you to work on Notion first. And let me borrow a workstation. Each group, Simon has already prepared each of you a working station. So basically, you just find your topic and open your worksheets, and you can edit it like student here. So later on in the following 15 minutes, I want you to first wrap up your stakeholder mapping, like here. To define some of your stakeholders, important stakeholders, I want to remind you that there is 2 types of key stakeholder that we should pay attention to. The first one is the key player, which is the most significant stakeholder and able to change this situation. So most likely is the government agency or the government body. And the second type that also quite important is the target beneficiary, which is the direct beneficiary of showing consideration. So I want you to first wrap up your stakeholders here based on your topic. That's number one. And number two, I want you to fill the need statement. It's actually also from previous workshop, but I just want you to wrap this up and put your answer here. You can either fill in the blanks here or type it in some space here in your workstation. So I will be jumping into every group and have some discussion with you. So please try to access to your workstation first. If you come across any technical problem, please let me know. So we will spend around 15 minutes to wrap up all our answers, and we will jumping onto the ideas later. In case you have confused or forgot about some meaning of the blanks, here is some examples you can take reference, but of course we can discuss together later on in small groups. Hi, please take a seat. Okay, so jumping on next, I see that you guys have already completed half of the need statement, so you can continue later on. And in next section, just now we got some feedback on generating some briefly idea and simple ideas. Later on in the following time, I want you to try to put down some brief idea that you got on mind that addressing the topic that you are working on. So it's okay if your idea is quite flat and simple. You can use a concept to connect first. Say if you want to do a education campaign or a public advocacies, you can put down education campaign and think of a little bit of details there. So I want you also draft your idea in Notion. And of course, if you can put down these ideas, what is the value to the user, that will be great. So you can also put your idea here. If you have more than 3, you can add a column here. So I will be also jumping into your group and we can discuss together. So maybe we can have 15 minutes more. So you can first put down your idea draft here and we can share it a bit later on. Okay, so before we taking a break, I want you to get your attention here. Later on, we will down select each of your idea later, and we will rate it in these 4 aspects. So the first one is about desirability. So whether it's your stakeholder really want this idea, and so you can give a rate later. And the second category, it's about the feasibility, whether it's technological possible, or say because many of your ideas is doing some policy review. So you can consider whether it's operational feasible or politically feasible. And the third one is about the viability. So in here, the viability is actually, you can consider the sustainability, whether the solution is scalable. So this one, you can consider the long-term and short-term impact of your idea. And the fourth aspect, I think this most simple one, is about whether it's ethical, whether this solution is truly achieving the outcome that we want to see. So I will introduce in a scale of 5. Later on in Notion, you can rate your idea. So let me take an example here. Let me borrow this workstation. So you have got 3 ideas here. It's actually synchronized back to idea 1, 2, 3. So you can simply click on it and give a rate on it. So 0.1 is the lowest and 0.5 is the highest. So you can discuss among with your teammate or with us, and you can rate each of your idea. And afterwards, we can have a 10-minute break. So please come back at 10:50. Okay. Okay. So in the following 1 hour, I want to introduce you one very exciting method. It's theory of change. Anybody have applied this theory of change in other course, like any student from communication here, communication department? Okay. Actually, theory of change is a very comprehensive description and illustration on how a desired change is expected to be happen. So every time when we see things, we will think it as A to B. We have A so that we have our outcome to B. But then theory of change is actually stressed on the middle part. So if we have A to B, usually it's like this. We will think of this way. So our focus will be the B here. Or what is the A? What is the factor driving the B? But then what is theory of change is, it wishes us to focus on the middle parts here, so that we can really showing an expected outcome. So let's take off this picture. Can you spot some issues or spot some issue that should be tackled in this picture? Or any special thing that you found that, oh, we should make a change? Anybody have idea? What issues you can spot in this picture, or what situation you think, yeah, it should have a change here? Yeah, it can be. Yeah, so you can see exactly the harbor here, you cannot see the endpoint, but then they choose to build a bridge to cross the harbor. So if we apply theory of change, we find the missing piece here. So instead of continue building the bridge using a lot of energy, manpower, expenses, instead they can build a boat. So it will be faster and quicker. So how we can apply this theory of change in your project is that I wish you can generate some shift that you are trying to solve to get to your desirable outcome. So what is a shift? It can be a significant movement that in your user journey, or a desirable changes or outcome that supports by the data that you have collected from the government or from the internet in earlier stage. So let me show you an example. I'm using the MTR Israel line passenger falling into the track area as an example here. So one of the shifts can be the passenger can't recognize the yellow line on the platform area. So what I want to make a change, or say, what's the expected outcome that I want to see after implementing a change or implementing a solution, is I wish the passenger is aware on the marked yellow line on the platform area, so that they can be better protected or the incident won't be happen again. So in the other words, if I use another approach or another stakeholders, I will choose MTL soft in my case. That maybe some passengers on the track area or the passenger, when they're waiting the train, they will feel a bit pressured when the staff's telling them, oh, step back, step back, step back. So the change here I want to make is, I want the passenger feel that it's actually a friendly reminder. So this is a shift that you can try to think of it in your case. So in later time, I guess around also 15 minutes, we can discuss together. And in Notion worksheet, you will see a table there. So you can try to think of some shifts that you are trying to solve in order to get to your desirable outcome or expected outcome that you want to see in your topic. So I hope you will have at least 3 here. So let's have 15 minutes discussion. And if you have any problem, feel free to let me know anytime. All right. So, I guess we are most ahead there. So, in the next section of theory of change, I want you to take your concept according to their effectiveness in tackling on each of your shifts. So just now we have come up at least 3 idea and at least 3 shift, right? So let me show my example here first. So later on, I want you to have a match. So I have an idea 1, and still remember all my shift on the MTR platform were cases. So I've got education, improvement of infrastructure, and new infrastructure as my ideas. So I want you to take each of your solution back to your shift. So you have 3 choice. The first tag, it can be addressing this somewhat. It's meaning that this idea is partially addressing this shift. And the second tag, it can be addressing this well. It can be over 90% or completely addressing the shift. And if this two tags is not applicable, then you can choose leave it blank, which meaning that, oh, this solution or this idea is not really related to the shift, or it cannot be doing or addressing the shift effectively. So in your Notion, you can scroll it down a bit here in this table. So concept 1, 2, 3 is actually your idea 1, 2, 3, and your shift 1, 2, 3 is your shift just you have put down here. So for convenience referencing, you can type some shorter term here for yourself for easier referencing. And say if I want to tag it, you can just type like some words like that. Okay, so we can have another 15 minutes here, and feel free to discuss among your team or with us so we can have some brainstorming together. Okay, so here it comes to the magic moment of using the theory of change. So I bet you already checked all the solutions and ideas out and rated on its efficiency. So later on, before your pitching, I want you to do one more step here. So we will identify which shift and which concept we ultimately want to select. So here, I would select based on the shift and concept that have more tech here. So here I will eliminate the third shift and the third concept because it's seemingly not really effective in achieving the shifts that I got on hand. So you can take a look of your table and see whether any of the concept is not addressing any of your shifts that you have put down. So you can eliminate it. So after this step, I will allow you to have around 1 hour around 30 minutes. So you can prepare on your 2-minute pitching. So in your pitching, there is no standard requirement, but I want you to share a bit more on the situation of your working topic, that's your background, the needs and changes that your user is facing, the expected outcome that you want to do it or you want to see, and also your idea that you developed in this workshop today. So later on, I will distribute some blank paper for you. You can do some graph work or some point that you want to show in during a presentation. You don't need a deck. You don't need any visual ads for you. You just come up and share a bit of your insight. So in your Notion, you can also put your pitching ideas here on your concept. You can just put one sentence is fine. So it's for your classmate to view what's your ultimate or central idea of your concept today. So we will draw lots later to determine the order, and I think we can have discussion and preparation time until 11:45. Then we will do the draw lots. Okay, so it's showtime and we got a volunteer here. So let's give him some cheer. Okay, so you got 2 minutes. You can take this mic.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is James, and our topic is about carbon trading. And it's very unfortunately my groupmate is not here from another section, so I'm gonna do the presentation by myself. So some brief introduction about the background information about the carbon market. I assume that most of you has heard about the carbon market, this concept around the world, no matter from the Europe, even in Singapore and in UK, they have their own carbon market. But however, in Hong Kong, we didn't have our own carbon market. And in the current year, China already developed their own market. So here's the idea that pops out that maybe we need to build up our own market, carbon market, so we can cooperate with the mainland and also the international, the worldwide. And second, we identify some needs and challenge for this topic, like build up a carbon market. First, we need to look at some auditing problem, like because they have different standard about calculating the carbon emission in the worldwide. So we need to verify a standard for it. And second, we need to, because the Hong Kong is using the volunteer market, this called like we're not forcing all the industry or the individual to join this program. So we need to arouse the attention of the citizens so we can let them join to our carbon market program. So the idea that we brings up in the bottom, that's is we need to allow the citizen to join this program. For that, we need to educate them about what is the carbon market for and how your money, if you invest in carbon market, can reduce the carbon emission. And second, we need to engage the industry in the locals to join to the carbon markets, because there are some technology company in Hong Kong. They can further reduce the emission. And then actually we find out a department in Hong Kong called Hong Kong GOC. They are publishing some carbon certificate to encourage the yeah. So we find an organization that can participate in the Hong Kong carbon market, and then he can they also have a good auditing system. So we think it's a good chance to cooperate with the local organization to the Hong Kong carbon market. And that's all. Thank you.
Our next team.
Everyone want to go first? No, I gotta go on. This one. So I need to open it, right?
Or you can.
Oh, transactional housing.
Okay, welcome. Okay.
Which points do you want me to do? Or all of them?
So hi everyone, our group is concerning transitional housing. I'm Sid and that's Ong. So our headline for this thing is upgraded coffin homes, obsolete transitional housing. So from what we have found in our data, about 235,000 people are waiting for public housing. However, only 34% of people are able to get access to public housing. So what does this mean? People still need a livable house. However, there are 200,000 people living in coffin homes. What are the problems of coffin homes? We might know, but we haven't really lived there. They're cramped, they're unhygienic. I even saw a picture where a toilet was nearby a kitchen sink, which is crazy. And it's unsafe. There's more risks for disease. You know, if there's a fire, you know, things can happen. And it's also illegal. Apparently, we found that for a space for I don't know how many people, there were like 15 people living there, which is absurd. So what can we do? we can regulate coffin homes in order to make them more livable and make them more safe. And we can do that by adding, making sure that the walls aren't cracking, the sprinklers work, and there are proper safety measures for the people living in coffin homes so that they have a livable condition. That's all. Heritage Group.
Welcome.
Okay. Hello, I'm Renee. This is my roommate Kelly, and we're talking about the heritage. We know the history buildings represent the urban development of Hong Kong, and it not only bring memories and some belongings to local citizens, but also enable us to understand the different times in the past about their buildings and their living styles. But heritage can be classified into three classes linked to several problems under the current policy in Hong Kong, including the screening criteria applied by experts, transparency of evaluation, and the power of public opinion. So our group wants to discuss these problems and give some suggestions to governments how to solve these problems. So,
And the problem is that the low participation rate in that heritage preservation project. And actually, there are lots of news articles which are talking about that problem happened in the heritage preservation. Like, actually, there are removal of the heritage before the grading system or the assessment is done. So there are lots of people are concerning about that problem and try to reach the government. But unfortunately, that regular meetings happened in the consultation and lets people. So I think according to the data, there are only 0 to 8 people attend that regular meeting. So in order to increase the intensive, so we think that open a discussion forum for the public is a better way for them to engage the public. Yeah, thank you.
Can you go a lot too? Can you go a lot for next group?
leave home safe.
Leave home safe. Thank you. Okay, wow. You got a very big headline. Yeah. Okay, so hello everyone. My topic, the newspaper topic is a better living with COVID. So everyone of us know what is COVID about. The COVID-19 that is happening from 2019, and it did brings a lot of inconvenience and a lot of stuff to us. So I'm going to talk about not about how to stop it, but some solution about for it. So I want to do a voting first. How many of you thinking the COVID? Oh, sorry, I forgot to talk about what is the government to do about the COVID. It's the Leave Home Safe app. That's my topic. So the government did to promote the Leave Home Safe app to helping to solve the or preventing the COVID. So everyone of you, I think you did already using the app. So I want to ask how many of you feeling very inconvenient, not very, but inconvenient of the app? Please raise your hand.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, so many of us. So the Hong Kongers is also like, yes, all of us. So it is, I mean, because every Hong Kongers is wants efficiency also in the when they're going out. So this brings a lot of inconvenience to us. So the first solution for me, for this problem, I would like to only request the citizens to scan the QR code in those high-risk venue. And how to define high-risk venue is about to see the previous cases where is the have the most confirmed cases. And so we would like to ask the citizens only use scan the QR code here. So sorry, I will do it quickly. And the second solution, second problem and the solution is that how many of you feeling very confused about these apps, the efficiency of this app? I mean, how many cases found, how many confirmed cases found from this app? I mean, through this app. Do you feel confused about it? Because there are no data and the government didn't give any response to us. So I'm very confused of that. I don't know you guys, but yes, I think most of Hong Kong people feeling very confused. So the second solution is that I would like to ask the government to give us a report, something like that, a report about what's the in the past years, how many cases found from this app, and the second is the future plan of the governments. I think the citizens have the can know these things, they must know. And the third one is also about the convenience, but is for the mostly focused on the elderly and kids, because many of elderly don't know how to use the Live Home Safe app, and kids don't have their phones. So we would like to use maybe not about the Live Home Safe app, but a new solution is that to ask them to use their maybe autoverse cards, or for the elderly, maybe they can use the card called, senior citizens card. Yes, to use this to replace the Live Home Safe app for them. It will more convenient for them. So that's the end of my sharing. Sorry to.
Can you draw lots for next?
Emergency alert system.
Emergency alert system. Thank you. Your new sheet, right?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Please speak. Okay.
Okay. In 2022 this year, and a system from emergency alert system and message from emergency alert system has been released. Boom. And so after receiving the message, there are various of reaction based on this. Have you ever stunned by the loud sound emitted from your phone, or have you ever doubts about the message? Is it a scam, or is it there a missile from Russia attacking Hong Kong? Is it a terrorist attack really happened in Hong Kong? So everybody of us or most of us does not know how to react when receiving the message. So this is what we react after on that day. So what we need is that we have to make the emergency system not only an emergency alert system, it's an emergency response system. And so to tackle the problem, we should
let the citizen know what to do after the emergency message, and also the government can provide instruction to the citizens so that they know what can do. And our proposed idea is to educate the citizens so that they can know what to do after the emergency message, and we're gonna educate them through advertisement or to school, and our target is to educate all the general public. And through after they get educated, they know how to respond to the emergency message. The government department can also be fluent to react with those emergency situations. Thank you.
Oh, can you draw the lot here for next team?
Okay. Climate disaster.
Okay. So this is my yes. So this is my sentence. Don't lie down. So some background about our project is that we actually look at some government study on climate disaster. Actually, Hong Kong government, there are a lot of departments involved in this topic, and they did a lot of study. However, different government departments are lack in communication. So this is very hard for the general public to get the information from different departments, and also it's very hard for them to know who they should seek for help. And that's why, to solve this problem, we suggest that maybe we can set up a database for different or related department to upload their current measures or future planning on this topic to let the public to access. Maybe even more, they can upload a hotline for the public to know if they face these kind of threats from extreme weather, where they can seek help. So after having this database, we expect that the general public can be more active to this issue. Like they don't just lie down and wait die. If they really facing the threat, they can actively to seek help from the government department. And also by this, they may gain some survival skills. Yeah, and that's my sharing. Thank you.
So we also have one more team on Zoom. So let's welcome Yuri. Hi, Yuri. You can't.
Okay.
Yeah, you can also turn on your camera, so everyone can meet you. Hi.
Hi. So
Okay.
yeah.
So are you ready? You can start anytime.
Yeah. So as we participated in one of the the doctor thesis seminar, we know that there's a large amount of food waste in Hong Kong. So we have to reduce the amount of food waste. And the issue that we are focusing on is about food waste. And I found that there's an organization who is contributing to the food rescue project. And this is actually Dr. Daisy was doing. And also there's a similar project in Japan too, where there's a service who collaborates with especially food buffet restaurant, because there are many leftover food, and they try to collect the food and sell it to at cheaper price than original price. And also the Japanese government, they proposed a law to raise awareness of food waste. And so I believe that the Hong Kong government also needed to propose some laws about food reduction of food waste. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Yuri. Okay, congratulations, everyone. So to complete your pitching and complete today's mission, and I hope you can transfer what you learned today, especially the theory of change, in your projects later on. So thank you very much. Ben, do you have Anything want to? Thank you.